Pod bracket challenge.
Take feet pod bracket challenge. You heard it from the light skin in the bottom right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So we gonna start that thing up for real. Right. Right.
Y'all wanna do one entry or two?
How is it that Joey's here but not here? Y'all see that?
Nah.
Yeah, it's just his thing is black.
Oh, now it is.
But
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You just frozen, I think.
Yeah, my camera is being really wonky right now.
Where you go, bro?
The Willy Wonka for it. Hey Julian,
Sir.
did Ian used to wear bucket hats outside when he was coming
Right.
up?
He definitely did.
Yeah, like, whoa. Come on.
But he tried to steal the sauce from me though.
Oh, gosh.
No, y'all all really tried to steal the sauce from Josh.
Not even. Don't give him credit for that.
Yeah, well.
Us from Josh.
Crazy. Yeah, that's great to call out.
We put a Bronny and Michael Jordan in the same sentence, bro.
There you go.
Oh, that was hard. The transition for Joey. All right. I'd say far apart, man. You know exactly what we're here to do. Repping no slides today. No slides. We can't talk about drama because it's March. Now we're officially in March. We're in full swing of it. So there's only one thing to talk about, gentlemen. I hope we have our brackets out and ready because I do not. Let me get my bracket.
Bro, I haven't even made a bracket.
I'm
Just
definitely
either.
in bracket right now.
It's probably
The game is
because we remember what happened to you the last time.
What happened?
I don't even remember who won last time.
It wasn't.
It was Jason Monkier.
I can tell you that.
my bracket was the best bracket, and I got fried by Tennessee losing. Had Tennessee not lost, I would have won in a blowout.
You should have been knowing.
What did they lose to?
They lost to Purdue, bro.
Oh, that's stupid of you.
They lost to Purdue. Not even. They lost to Purdue. They lost to Purdue, and Zach Edey was getting every call. Zach Edey got like 50
Oh,
free
man.
throws. That was actually the most absurd wrecking. Like I'm
Bro,
still
Zach
remembering
Edey
that
was
year.
just completely dominant all season.
Nah, he was, but like I'm just saying they shouldn't have won that game.
Joey, they lost to the best big man in college basketball. What? How would you ever like? How
Bro,
could
they had the best. They had the best score in college basketball last year.
I do remember them
Shout out DK.
calling outrageous fouls
Dawson.
that game, though.
It was terrible reffing. Dawson Connect, like he was hooping. Come on now, don't do it.
He ran into that brick wall. That's all I got to say. He ran into the Stifle Tower for real.
On me, he didn't run into anything. He ran into the refs, to the zebras.
Yeah.
Zebras got him for sure. Cause
So
that's
I
like,
just
come on now.
Ian. So I just like Ian for real.
It wasn't weak
What's
though,
the game? This is what I'm doing.
bro. Just go rewatch the game and you'll see. The refs were trending on Twitter after the game. At any time when the refs are trending on Twitter, number one, you know it was outlandish. And remember this, Morgan was working during this game. I remember this because he's talking. He didn't even watch the game.
Big money attitude. I watched the results.
For sure.
Anywho, let's get into it, man. I take Far Pie. You already know live every Tuesday when we feel like it, right? Sometimes come on Saturday when we feel like it. So y'all stay tuned on all the socials. YouTube, Twitch, X, YouTube, the like, right? At TV Pod. So I throw it to the pod, right? Men's or women's? What are we starting with?
Jacob was blowed.
I'm sorry.
Let's start with women's. Let's just, you know what I'm saying?
We're not watching the women's tournament this year.
Nah, I am for sure.
I watched it last year. Like, it's been lit. It's always been lit.
No, I'm not a game for the women's.
Like, hold on just for a second. Just for the audience, really. I have a few monologues for y'all today. Joey, I'm going to hit up with this one that's irrelevant first, though. Okay? I just turned 24 years old in December, y'all. My birthday is December 8th. I just turned 24 years old not too long ago, right? So we're starting to get into grown folks territory. You see what I'm saying? 9 to 5s, paying bills, taxes, that sort of thing. It's really not lit as they shook it out to be. But after work today, I decided to go get some shots up. Form shooting. Julian, the most beautiful sound in the world is that. You see what I'm saying? I just like to hear that sometimes, right? I'm trying to get back into it, get back into shape.
Sure.
The young dude came out here, right? My young dude, he was in high school, dude named Kai. Just came up. You can tell when somebody wants a shot, throwing the ball, step back, 3, air ball. I'm not generous, right? Throwing the ball again. He stepped back behind the line again. Air ball. One more time. Throw the air ball, Joey. And kid was in high school, man. Like, he came out like no warm-up, slides, just shooting threes. Maybe we're officially old heads, but that's where the game is at right now. So when we get into March Madness, right, we got to talk about the guys that shoot threes, in my opinion. And that's my strategy. That's what beat Julian out last year, and that's what I'm sticking with. Okay? So let me throw it back to the pod. If we want to talk men's tournament, right, let's just talk matchups. What are y'all looking at when y'all are making a decision for the bracket, head-to-head, right? Because, of course, there will be upsets, there will be Cinderella stories, but what metrics are you using besides your eyes to determine who's moving on in the tournament this year? Talk to me.
I don't know if I really want to tell you all that, honestly.
You'll go out bad either way.
Facts.
Won't help you none.
I feel like it's definitely a player's bracket. Like college basketball is a player's game, in my opinion. It's like when we're looking for Cinderellas and things like that, I typically will lean towards the best players. Like in last year's bracket, I can't even remember exactly who, but the guy from like Duquesne or the guy from James Madison last year who transferred to, where'd he go? Somewhere in the SEC. Light-skinned dude from James Madison. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Not my name.
He transferred to some SEC school. They were just playing the other day. Who was in the SEC semifinal, Jake? You know who?
The semifinals
It
was
was Auburn, Florida.
State, and then Florida and
I'm lying. Not SEC. He's at Louisville. But he's cold though. Last year I knew him coming into the tournament at James Madison. Had a bet on him. They went on a little run, like paid dividends. So definitely, like I would say, it's a players' tournament.
yeah. Also, something that's going to be really important in this bracket is pace, because a lot of these teams are good, just like on paper, because of their defense. But at the end of the day, especially in this league, pace beats defense any day. That's what Florida's taught me so far.
Sometimes, like I don't know, it depends on who you run into.
I mean, it
Sometimes-
does. It definitely does.
Like in years past, we've seen it's not the same. I won't say it's a 1-to-1, but like we usually see these like high octane SEC teams, like because that's what SEC basketball is usually. It's very fast. We see them run up against some like Big 10 teams or maybe a Big 12 team who really can sit down and guard, or like they'll full court press you, and that gives them trouble. Like when they have to score in the half court. So I don't know. It's definitely I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough to predict, honestly. That's why the tournament's so late.
So we talked about pace, talked about I said 3-point shooting, and we also talked defense. Joey, what are you looking at when you're picking this bracket and deciding your matchups here?
I just feel like who can guard against the 3. I mean, again, pace is probably also a very good metric to look at, because I think people aren't really knocking down threes like that in college. Like they're honestly not.
And people can't shoot.
It's just people either can't shoot or what have you. It's just going to dictate pace. It's more of like a free form like game of basketball where the middies matter, where post scorers matter, where all of this other basketball skills that are valued actually matter. It's not like the NBA where, if you're just a straight mid-range shooter, like that's not going to matter as much. If you're a post scorer, that's not going to matter as much. Like, this is a whole different game. This is a full on, like, this is more like basketball. Like as old head as it sounds, and I'm 24 too. I'm not trying to act like an old head by any means, but like nobody's chucking up threes like that. Nobody's, it's just a matter of like, okay, like who's going to dictate the pace? Who's going to guard better? It's a lot more physical.
Dictating the pace, perimeter defense. And do you have anything to add when you're choosing these matchups here? I remember your bracket though.
It wasn't that bad at the end, I don't think, but I mean, yeah,
straight vibes.
Yeah, definitely straight vibes. Picking up. But for real, like what Julian said, I think players do matter. That's how I usually pick my bracket. Whoever has the better player or better players. So especially this year, I gotta rock with Duke. They have the best player in the nation. So,
is he gonna play though?
Yeah, we'll get into that for sure.
Yeah, definitely depends on if he plays, but I think he's good on the defensive end, which I think what Joey said is important. And what Jacob said, like if you get stops, you can dictate the pace of the game.
See the players thing, right? You don't want to always fall into that. I like what Joey had said about it being the purest form of basketball that we may have out here. Let me hit y'all with another monologue. This is my last one of the pod. I called my dad yesterday, right? We just talked hoops, that sort of thing, right? Get to talking about March Madness, and then in the conversation, I found myself getting excited, like getting elated for what we're about to see. You see what I'm saying? Because when we talk about the purest form of basketball, we're talking about raw talent, raw athletes going head to head. Joey mentioned the physicality of the games. And let's just talk about the tournament style in general. We've all seen March Madness, but I think talking about it just makes me that more happy, but that more anxious to see it. It's one game that gets to decide your fate. You see what I'm saying? It's not a series. It's not, a possession by possession type of thing. A lot of the times it's 2 minutes of a basketball game could completely decide your fate. Right. So we talk about 3-point shooting, guarding, this sort of thing. We have to always keep in mind that these teams can get hot, right? And anything could happen, right? And with that being said, I'd like to add another thing that I think we all should be looking at when we're choosing these matchups here is, again, we have raw talent out there, raw athletes, coaching. Coaching definitely matters. So we talk about a lot of these storied teams, with these longtime coaches on there that have been through the tournament, been there with multiple different teams, been through the ringer, the fire. They know how to manage those highs and lows. So even if you take a team like UConn that may, have not had the most incredible year that we're accustomed to seeing from them, they're still a threat. In my opinion, to me, they're still a threat. Just for the simple fact of them being coached well, and them understanding what it means to be in this tournament here. But again, that's what I got in terms of. Do we have anything else we're looking at with these matchups? Awesome.
Not really, no.
I want to talk about the 1 seeds first. Okay. Let's have some fun with this. Which one of these 1 seeds is going out bad first? So we've got Auburn. All right. We got my Auburn Tiger up there, right? It's 28-5, I believe, on the year. Then we got Florida. That's also your team, man. Jake.
Yeah, formerly I claim them. I'll claim them.
Yeah, claim them too. Okay. 30-4 on the year. Been putting on. Then we have Ian's Blue Devils, right? He's been playing capture the flag since Valentine's Day. Shout out to the 76ers and podcast. 31-3 on the year. Danger. And then we have Houston showing up yet again at 30-4. We know exactly what they do. Which one seed is going out bad first? Auburn, Florida, Duke, or Houston? Talk to me.
I mean, it'll definitely be Auburn. Like,
Now he got me for a second. He definitely got me.
yeah, it'll definitely be Auburn. We do have to go up against Yale again, potentially.
Facts.
That's our kryptonite. So
Facts. Don't see
Y'all,
that.
y'all actually got a tough draw, in my opinion.
yeah, it's definitely the hardest of any one seed.
Like, I don't know why Louisville ended in 8 seed. That was wild. 8?
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm pretty sure they went to the conference championship, and like I know the ACC was probably in one of its worst years that we've seen probably in our lifetime. But to be in their conference championship and get an 8 seed, like that's tough. I think
Yeah,
they're
I was
top
about to get
15.
bounced first round though.
They played Creighton.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. That's just tough in the second round to see either Louisville or Creighton. And then, given the fact that Auburn typically lets down in the tournament, like I'm going to have to agree with Jacob. I just don't see them making a deep run. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think your bracket's just tough. It's tough.
yeah, it is very tough. I mean, Auburn definitely has the best odds to get knocked out first of the one seeds.
You're a good team. I mean, the team is very good, and they typically are, though. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know what's up with y'all in the tournament. Like, y'all lost to us. You were the number 1 overall seed. I think we put belt to y'all. Then last year, lose to Yale. Like, I just at some point you've got to get over the hump. So maybe it won't. Maybe it will be this year for you. Like, hopefully you've got, if not the best player, maybe the second best player in the country in Broome, and all those other old heads. I mean, why are you saying, well, he's the best player, you think?
Yeah.
I would say I would agree too, but I don't think most people would, But
I think most people would, but
I think people would lean towards Flag,
maybe.
Would y'all lean? Who do y'all think is the best player in the country?
Between who? Who was the first person y'all was talking about?
I'm talking about Auburn's best player, the light-skinned big man, Janai. Yeah, Broome. Yeah.
See, that's the thing
Broome
is
versus Flag?
Janai Broome doesn't even get the publicity that Cooper Flag gets. So,
Because he's old. I mean, he's what are you, like a senior? I think now.
bro, stop calling him old. Like, he's 25.
That's old.
He's older than me. I'm graduated college for 2 years now. Like he's getting there. Like come on now.
I guess.
And y'all got another.
Broome is harder than Flag.
I'm talking about college basketball. Like, he obviously won't be, or he probably won't be a better pro. But
So who's a better college basketball player?
I would say Broome is a better college basketball player, but it's close.
He definitely is.
I don't think that's crazy at all.
What is he better at outside of post game? And Cooper Flag has a pretty good post game.
I mean, you're saying that he's a better all-around player. I would agree. Like, Cooper Flag is definitely a all-around. He has a more of an all-around skill set. I agree, but like that doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. Like, that's like talking about a guy like Edie last year. All he has is a post game. Are we going to diminish that? Or a guy like DJ Burns last year? He plays out of the post pretty much fully.
Just weird examples that you chose to bring to the table. I was thinking of more old-time players that, they're hard in college and then don't pan out, when it comes league time.
I don't even mean it like that. I'm just saying he's talking about who has more of a filled out skill set. I don't care about that. I'm just talking about who's better.
I mean, what's name can probably affect the game. I don't know if that's true. But
I still think this line of thinking is odd. But
what's odd about it?
Yeah.
He's cold. I mean,
I see flashes of Jokic with Janai posted up.
That's definitely dope.
I mean, I guess I just watch more than anybody else, but he's an elite playmaker out of the posts.
No, he can play.
Elite.
That's why I said he's like kind of like DJ Burns last year. He reminded me of him. Honestly, DJ Burns was diamond out of the post and
that
getting
man
buckets.
was so nasty.
He was going crazy.
Jokic, bro.
He took it too far.
Yeah,
Nah,
he
Jokic-
definitely has
Jokic, bro.
flashes of Jokic.
Jokic was definitely a
100%.
stretch. That's for sure a stretch.
Bro, how's it a stretch to say he has? I didn't say he was Jokic.
Flashes.
No flashes. No
In
flashes.
terms of
Yo.
his play style,
That's it.
But again, we're comparing him to the best player in the National Basketball Association. Like we gotta.
yeah, we're comparing the best player in college basketball to the best player.
We're debating who the best player in college basketball is.
I mean, he's
Nobody
undeniably
knows.
top. He's undeniably top 3.
sure.
For
Who's
sure.
throw a third out there?
I mean, you could take your pick. There's a lot of guys. Like, what do you mean?
I guess I've only heard 2 names all year.
I'll say who had the best season this year for sure. I agree, but I'm just saying there's other players.
Isn't Dickinson still in college?
He's not. I mean, he is in college, but he's not in that conversation.
Thought he was.
It's an interesting thing. There are definitely 2 different players, and they affect the games in different ways. There, I think it's hard for me to separate college from the league because we all know that it's capture the flag. You see what I'm saying? And it is definitely capture the flag. It ain't sweep the broom for real. Like you see what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to separate the 2. So I'll take myself out of that discussion there. But back to my question though, are y'all really? Because again, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I've watched a full season of college basketball. Are we really going to count UConn out of this thing if they see Auburn in the second round?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so with that being said, I mean Auburn versus Louisville. Louisville's been a better team for sure.
Wait, UConn.
No,
is
UConn's
even-
not
UConn's
in there.
in- UConn's in a
UConn's
different
not
side of
in
the
there.
bracket.
Yeah, they're not
yeah,
in
they're
there.
not on their side.
They're in
I'm
Florida.
saying, no.
They're in
listen to what
Florida
I'm saying.
side.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to see Florida potentially.
Yeah, you
Right?
said.
I'm saying that matchup where Florida has the potential.
Florida has guys. Florida has a
Nah,
bunch of guys.
that game would not be close. I'll go ahead and say that right now. That game would not be close.
Florida has a bunch of guys this year.
Florida has guys. I've heard about it and I've read about it. I
And they're
understand.
seasoned guys. It's not like they're some pups.
Florida
Those
is
guys
the
are
team
big.
to beat in this entire tournament, 100%.
Who got the number 1 overall seed? I don't know.
We did.
That's
Y'all did?
no,
Yeah.
that's not even true.
You lost? Didn't you lose the tournament?
Yeah, the Duke. It's Duke, dude.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
And then Florida.
It
And
comes
then,
down to quad 1 wins. We had 16 quad 1 wins.
I mean, for sure, but you.
The next
finished
highest team
with-
was like 9.
I mean, that's fine, but didn't Florida win your conference
Yeah,
with a
they
similar
did.
record?
And they were a 1 seed.
I'm no. I'm just saying. I thought they finished over you, but
Mm-mm.
they did.
No, that's the rankings,
yeah, those are rankings.
but that's not the number 1.
I don't think
overall
those are
seed.
the tournament rankings. I'm not sure.
I don't know why they.
I'd be
wouldn't.
shocked if they weren't. I'd be shocked if Houston got in over Auburn.
What do you mean?
Like they were a higher ranking than you in the tournament. I'm saying that would surprise.
Oh yeah, that would be insane. No, there would be riots in the street.
Oh, I best Rider found the expert picks, but anywho, I'm paying close attention to that game. I understand it all, right? You are who you are throughout the year for sure, but come tournament time, that's a different game. All I need is one game. All right, one good game out of you. We'll play the possessions, get up by a little bit, and we'll see what happens. But we'll see. We'll definitely see that. So. Houston potentially facing Gonzaga or UGA. That doesn't strike
yeah,
me.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know. I just feel like whenever and I was just looking at this, like I don't like the lack of size on Houston. I just don't. I think when you go against some of these bigger teams, like I just don't see it working. And I mean, they've been a very dominant college program over the past, several years, but like, I don't know it exactly if I buy if I buy it when they come against these taller teams, these bigger teams.
I like them if they were to play Gonzaga at least. I think Georgia would present challenges to them, but I think they'll still beat them. They've been a good team this year.
Wait, who's going to win that? Gonzaga or Georgia?
Or Georgia, yeah. I don't know who's going to win, but I'm saying if Gonzaga wins, I think Houston will be fine. I don't think they can compete with it. But if Georgia wins, they've seen teams as good as Houston for most of the season, so I think that can be a tough one.
I think we're about to see a really embarrassing performance by the SEC. That's what I think. Like,
embarrassing in a good way?
No, in a bad way.
Mm.
Like, we're going to see a majority of those teams lose, like, round one.
Was it 14? You got 14 teams?
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
That's extreme. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, you're not buying the hype of the conference? Not at all?
I mean, I'll say it's top heavy. Like, I don't think Georgia should have made the bracket.
Yeah, they were a bottom team, weren't they?
Who else made it? Mississippi State?
Pretty sure. The only teams who didn't make it were South Carolina and I don't remember. South Carolina somebody. They didn't make it.
LSU.
I mean, I think there's 4 like serious real deal teams in the SEC.
Now Georgia, this is one of the few times I may agree with Big Julian. Yeah, let me pull him up for real. So, am I on the wrong team? Where's my boy Nelson?
Bro, that's what's called. I'm talking about Bama.
Oh, I am talking about Bama. I'm tripping.
He's hurt too.
UGA.
Who's hurt?
Grant Nelson.
Nelson on Bama.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was tripping. Yeah, it'll probably be a Gonzaga type of thing. I don't know. Again,
that's real hate.
What you talking about? I just looked at the team and
I'm talking about Jacob. I'm talking about Jacob. He's
I didn't even say anything, bro.
Bro, I saw you, bro. That Auburn Bama hate came out of him for sure. Shout out Grant Nelson though. Hopefully Nelson plays because he's cold. I can't lie.
He actually
was hooping crazy last year.
He was going dumb last year.
Who did they play? Was it like North Carolina in that game? Was it North Carolina?
Somebody, I forgot.
I don't remember, but he was going crazy.
Yeah, it was really they could not stop the dude. I'm talking about 3 levels, but I was getting to the cup at a little quarter 3. Like I don't know. He's what Matas Buzelis is supposed to be. So, but anyway.
Can we talk about North Carolina making it though?
What you mean?
North Carolina made it?
Yes, like UNC. They're finna play tonight actually in the first four.
I was about to say, yeah, they're not in it yet.
No, but dang, like they made the first 4. That's insane to me. I can't believe that they let them into the tournament. They played a Duke team without 2 of their best players.
Yeah, that was really
and
bad.
Still lost. I thought like they had an easy chance to play themselves in, and they still were rewarded with the loss. I don't understand that.
What's his name needs to go ahead and retire.
RJ Davis.
Yes.
Yeah, he's dope, bro. He should have been left. And what's his face? He pisses me off. The light skinned Cadeau, bro. Yeah, Cadeau, bro. He has so much hype coming into last season and even this season. And that boy still cannot shoot a jumper to save his life. Like, I don't understand how you can be a primary ball handler and he's afraid to shoot. Like, that's probably why they lost last year. Him and Withers, bro. Withers sold the game so bad last year. And he sold versus Duke again. He stepped into the to the lane on the free throw. I feel bad for him, bro, because he's definitely getting major threats right now. Like,
I should have looked at college players.
2 in a row is crazy though. Like, hey, 2 major tournament blunders in a row. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy.
My God.
No, I hope they make it. That'll be fun.
I want them to make it too because like they do have players who are exciting. Like obviously RJ Davis, Kenny Rote for a 25 on any night. Like that would be exciting to watch, but like they don't deserve it at all.
Let's
Not
see.
at all.
Who would they play?
I mean, they got to get through SDSU.
San Diego State is not sweet.
You see what I'm saying? Like you got
Usually they will play Illinois, I think. Yeah, they will get. I may be wrong. They're in the South.
I'm looking for it.
No, I'm wrong.
I don't really.
They're in the South. They would play.
Oh, they
They
would
would play. Yeah, they
Let's
would play
see.
Ole Miss.
and get
They would
spanked.
get Ole Miss in the first round.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, yeah, they'll definitely get spanked.
Will be interesting to see. Will be interesting to see. I didn't even realize we got games going now.
Yeah, it's a 16 game. 16 is on right now.
Yep. It's later than I thought. But anywho,
That's the battle of getting pulmerated by us.
That'll be turn if Alabama State gets in. So it'll be Alabama State versus Auburn. Like that's
Yeah. And then we play Bama in the Final Four. Or no, the only way we could play Bama is if it was the championship, actually.
they're on the opposite.
Yeah.
Bama's major too. Like I want to see what they do in the tournament. They show up to play usually. So
Or no, we
could
could play him Final Four. I lied.
Sears. That boy Sears is cold.
He's all right.
maybe
He's been cold lately, like cold.
Recently for sure, but like I'll say his track record is cold. Like I expect him to play and play well, especially in the tournament. I mean, he has to. If he doesn't, they're done. So
why did you put that hex on him like that? Like that curse for
he is the X.
Now, what I forget, there was a player actually that she was a fan of before tournament time last year. I remember.
That I was a fan of.
Yeah, I think it was another guard actually, if I'm not mistaken. Who did he
I don't know what you're talking about.
transfer schools?
Do you remember the team?
I thought he transferred from Duke or something like that. Actually, I'd have a hard time thinking about that one. I'd have a hard time with that one. I'd have to think on that.
Did Arizona make the tournament?
Yeah, they did. They're nice.
What's his name? Go ahead.
Now, what you got to say?
I was just saying I was interested to see what Arizona does this year. I know it's Caleb. What's his face's last? Caleb Love's.
Caleb Love. That's who I was thinking of. That's who I was thinking of, bro. Caleb Love. Yeah. Okay.
No, they have a decently easy path, honestly.
Who did they get?
They got Akron round one, and then like Oregon is not easy, but
They have to get Duke in there.
and then they would play
What
Duke,
is that?
and then they would get.
I mean, Duke, bro. We have to talk about the Duke injuries. Cooper Flag obviously is super major, but what's his face is also hurt. James, I think his name is Sion James. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
That's major. He's one of their best players. I can't click.
Do
on
we
him.
know a timeline on Cooper Flag?
He
don't think anyone
should
knows.
be. I mean, he's going to be ready come tournament time. However, right, it's just a matter of will he be good. Wasn't it an ankle?
It was an ankle.
So,
Yeah,
like,
no,
he'll play, but like, will he be Cooper Flag is the question.
He better be. Like, I feel like this is his time to shine. This is his time to shine, bro. Like we've been gassing him up for years. Like it's time to show who you are now. You know, this is it.
So,
This is it.
I mean-
I'm just being real. This is it. Like, come on now. You can't disappoint.
What is it?
Bro, you cannot disappoint in the biggest moment of your career. You can't do it, bro. I'm sorry, you can't.
You can't lay it down. Like,
What is
do you think?
disappointing?
If he doesn't play good ball, that's what I'm saying.
Like scoring wise or like pass defense? What are you talking? He can do everything.
Ball doesn't have to be at 25 from him. Like I don't expect him to get 25. I'm saying
Yeah.
just play well. He has to play well. I don't want
Okay,
to see like if he pisses down his leg, we have to talk about that.
There's a lot of wiggle room in this. That's why I'm trying to define what exactly does it mean to piss down your leg. Like, what? Describe that for me.
It's impossible to define. It's impossible to define. It's a feeling. It's a feeling, bro. You know it. Like when you see it, you know it. You feel me? Bro, when you see a player who's a star, right, get into the biggest moments, you can tell when they start to tremble a bit. No,
Bro, I've seen Mahomes do that all the time. What does that mean?
What?
You know I hate this. I hate when you do this. Why are you talking about college basketball? Why are you talking about football right now?
Bro, it's
Number one, why are you talking about football? And number two, why did you go to Patrick Mahomes? Multiple Super Bowl. He has multiple Super Bowl rings and MVPs. You need to stop. You need to stop. No.
Like,
No.
Eagles fans, bro.
Come on now.
That's
He be pissing me off. Anyways, though, there's way more relevant examples you could have pointed to. Like, come on now. We see it every year in the playoffs. Guys,
in your area, though, you saying this is it. So he lays an egg. Let's say they go out bad in the first round. Right?
We have to talk about it, and we have to talk about him for sure.
Okay. Is he not going to Philadelphia? Like,
He will go
what's
first.
going to change after that?
Bro, it's just how we see him should change. Maybe I'm saying if you pitch down your leg, no.
It depends.
Y'all have anointed him
down the leg. Wait. He doesn't have a good shooting night.
Can we take this? Can we take it in its full context? Can we please view this in its full scope? Y'all have anointed this man as next up. Yes or no?
He is the number one draft pick. One of the
no. Zachary Ricochet went number one. Is Cooper Flag next up? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, Morgan. Did we think Ricochet was next up? No, we didn't. Don't even raise your hands. We didn't think that.
What are we talking about we for? It's about the scouts. Like his scouting report, we know what that is. He's one of the highest rated prospects of all time. Is he not?
Are you talking about?
Won't change that, dude.
Who are you talking? You're talking about Cooper Flag, right?
I'm talking about Cooper Flag. Yes, and you can read the articles.
Okay.
You can read the articles. You can go through the.
I'm glad that you're talking about Cooper Flag because I'm agreeing. I'm with you. I'm hearing you. But if y'all have anointed him as next up, and he shits the bed in the biggest moment, which will be the tournament, we have to talk about it. Of course we do. Come on now.
I think he can.
For sure, but
and it will change how we view him. It should at least.
I disagree with that though. Like I don't know.
I think that you're giving a lot of leeway, in my opinion. The best players have to play.
He can have a bad game, and like shooting wise, maybe, but he can still affect the game.
Fine. I agree. I agree. It's not all about making your shots. I agree. You can still play well and miss shots. Like when y'all said Kawhi choked, I don't think he choked. Honestly, I don't think he choked.
Crazy. This is so crazy.
Right, why you always got to be Kawhi, bro?
No, that's just a good example. I feel like of someone who missed their shots. Like the ball just did not fall for him that night. I don't think he was choking though. Like he wasn't afraid.
Hey, let me sit back now. I talk to Ian all the time, especially about this Quentin Grimes situation, right? We've seen a full year of Cooper Flag. We've seen him in the Olympics. We've seen him in high school. We know what his floor is at this point. To me, a couple games in tournament does not alter the fact that he is still, quote unquote, next up. That's my take.
It depends on what you're saying is next up. I don't say you're next up if you're not going to be a superstar. Like the next up guy needs to be an NBA superstar, in my opinion. I'm just being real.
I mean, here's the way I think about it. Okay, like when Zion was in college, right? Everyone was like, "Hey, he's going to be next up." Like that whole 2019 draft, Zion sweepstakes, right? Yep. Didn't make it out of the Elite Eight. They had probably the best. Yeah, they had probably the best recruiting class that year because it was Zion, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish. Was Trey Jones on that team?
Mm-hmm. He was on too.
Like they had high expectations. A lot of people had them winning that tournament. they lost in the Elite Eight, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Pretty sure.
Like that didn't alter it.
That's not a failure though. Losing the Elite Eight in a one game and out tournament is not a failure. That's not what I'm talking about. And Zion was not, and that was also not Zion's fault. I'm not talking about if Cooper Flag goes in hoops and they lose. Way different.
But
I'm talking about if he doesn't play well.
But that you would agree was probably one of the best collections of talent that we had.
I mean, that's fine, but like it didn't work because they had almost too much. Like that wasn't the best Duke team that we've seen. That they just had a lot of good players.
Had a lot of good players, but I mean, y'all will
Like
see.
Cam Reddish was
players.
Cam Reddish was almost a net negative on that team.
And that you
just being real
by players. Cam struggled for sure, but y'all picked
negative. He was almost a negative, and he is the third recruit in the country. Was almost a negative. Like that's not, in my opinion. I don't look at that team as a team. Like that's not an all-time team. They had all-time college players for sure. Like Zion was different.
Philly, that's not an all-time team, bro.
No, that is not an all-time college basketball team. If you can take Miami, two teams from when I was in college, two Miami teams from when I was in college, and we would give them work
on everything. On everything.
Stop it, Julian.
No.
Whoa! They got beat by Michigan State, did they not?
You act like they were sweet or something like that. I told you about coaching. I told you coaching plays a factor. They got out coached in the game and then went out bad. And it was a failure, in my opinion.
I'm gonna look at this Michigan State. I'm gonna look at this Michigan State roster that beat them because you're blowing me right now. Like, whoa.
Yeah, but again,
that was an all-time team. Duke was an all-time team.
I match up.
What are we talking about? They were not better. So was UConn last year an all-time team?
Yes.
Okay, good. You think they wouldn't drag that Duke team?
They probably would have beat them.
With way worse individual players.
We're talking talent. I mean, the Suns are at the bottom of the leaderboard. So are the Sixers.
Exactly. You're making my point. They got beat.
Your first point when we started this podcast is that you choose the matchup by players.
All right. Name how many players that you know. Cassius Winston. We know him, right?
Of course.
We know him.
And they're a ton. And I don't know about before we start this exercise. So is this this is not the league, first and foremost, right? So when we're going down these names and they're trying to say that they're not
you just said that they were. Bro, you just said that was an all-time team. You can't just throw every team as an all-time team because they have good players. This year, there's a team this year who can have two super NBA superstars, right? The team this year, they have Harper and Bailey. They didn't even qualify for the tournament, and they're one of the worst teams in the country.
Then first and foremost, your theory is flawed. That's why your bracket is trash. And secondly, but secondly, again, I told you came in here, you said you picked my players. So first of all, the theory is
players
flawed.
in the tournament. Like, what?
The theory is flawed. Secondly, right? I've been trying to tell you that again. It was a failure. In my opinion, I thought they had a better team. That's not what I'm trying to say, right? But when it's team ball and you're playing one matchup, one game, anything can happen. Anything can happen, too.
I agree. So that's why I'm not going to sit here and say that. Why would we possibly view Zion in a different light after they lost that game?
I mean, I could send you some writers that said it, but, you know more. But, anywho, before I get up, though, can we
had
move on?
24 and 14.
Can we move on?
Yes, we can move on. But
okay,
like,
I'll send you some articles, big fella. I'll send you some writers. But
you can never educate me on anything.
Yeah,
Lock in.
Now, we talked about the top teams. We talked about the top teams. Okay. I want to hear about where the upsets will lie within this bracket. Okay. I want to hear about what y'all can predict, envision, get the crystal balls out, if you will. Who will be that dark horse team that shocks the world this year? It always happens. It always happens without fail, right? So who's your team that you're looking at may shock somebody if they see them head to head? Talk to me.
Duke. Just because of their injuries.
Now, let me rephrase, Jacob. I want to hear who's beating Duke. That's what I want to know about.
Mississippi State.
That'll be round 2, yeah.
That's round 2. So Mississippi State's getting through Baylor and then beating Duke. That's his take.
Yeah, even if they win that, they're going to have a very difficult time against either Arizona or Oregon.
Bro's doing the dishes. So,
What's up with y'all?
what's up with you? I hear you were doing the dishes. What are you cooking? What's wrong with you?
Chicken noodle soup. What's wrong? I can't eat. Like,
West Kitchen A&M. We're not chefing. I'm sorry.
whoa.
Can you show us your since you always want to comment on me actually throwing down. I want to see what you would do.
Nah, Drew. You
Nah,
can't see
exactly.
this right here.
Exactly.
Nah, this is strictly protein. Strictly protein. No, none of that fancy, nothing like that, bro. Like, it's strictly. I've been in the gym, and I'll take your wife. That's what that is in the bowl. That's it. That's all I got.
Is it tasty at least? Like, do you enjoy it? Like,
For sure. You know, but it's not about that. It's about, see what I'm saying? So, anywho, so looking back at this, so yeah, Mississippi State, that's not a bad take. It's a lazy take though, Jacob, because again, we just got through talking about how Duke, they're going to struggle with some injuries here and there, right? So if everybody's not there and whole, then I don't know if anybody would be shocked that a team goes ahead and okie dokes them while they're weak, right? I want to hear about the Cinderella. I want to hear somebody say Yale is going to beat somebody. That's what I want to hear about.
Bro, at this point, like, I'm giving away my picks, and like I'm in a bracket contest with y'all. Like, I already know what the upsets are. I already know.
Who does Yale play?
They play somebody that they're gonna beat. I mean, maybe.
They play
Texas A&M.
Jordan,
That'll be interesting.
Gonna make a difference.
That will be interesting.
And the sad part about it is, y'all first 2 rounds are all gonna look the same. I mean, 90% the same, right?
Mostly for sure.
Then it's just gonna come down to who you have, going all the way.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Like, so
I thought the most skills the first 2, like it is. The first 2 rounds, whoever has the best bracket, like that's really the champion. Like, honestly. Come on now.
that's weak.
okay.
That's not weak because you get like 500 points for winning, for your champion winning, which is like good. But yeah, if you pick all the upsets, like that's way more impressive than picking the last team standing, in my opinion. No,
I don't think
know.
so.
Gonzaga could also bounce Houston.
You're crazy.
Houston is very good, but Gonzaga's underrated.
well, let's talk about the NBA, bro.
Yeah, let's talk about Luka.
We're talking about NBA in March. What NBA y'all want to speak on?
What are we going to talk about for March, bro? What left are we going to talk about for March?
Oh, I was going to go into the 5 and 12 seeds, right? Those are always interesting.
That's the ones, but I feel like, like Jacob said, y'all are going to have to, lock in. You're going to have to lock in on your own for that one. You feel me?
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
How is that crazy? Like, we're all in a contest.
We were running a podcast here. This is for the audience, not me. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't trust you as far as I can.
Bro, we can have this conversation in one day after the picks are locked.
Facts.
Y'all are scary. Are y'all scared of Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
Scary.
How is that scary? He would be taking our information.
All right, bro. You're scared of him getting the information.
Y'all have no information for me. No information. Right?
NBA. I want to hear y'all's takes.
I've been talking a lot about last year, Joey. Let me tell you what happened last year. Okay. They didn't realize that basketball is played outside of the four lines, right? There's a way to look at these things and make sense of them to where the odds could somewhat swing in your favor. Now, I didn't have a perfect bracket though. So there are some things that I will improve upon, right? But it's mostly the same formula. Okay. And in that formula, it's 2 parts of whoop ass, 1 part of spank that, right? Okay. And then a little shot of tequila. That's what Julian gonna be drinking at the end of the day. Anywho, NBA.
That's no cap. Like,
NBA.
That's the only thing true you said all night. That's real.
You're gonna
Respect.
be drinking that spank ass shot.
I can get it one right now. We can get into it. Like, come on.
Oh, nightcap.
Yeah, we can go ahead and pour one.
Nightcap.
On some nightcap. Like, yeah. Gotta take the edge off after work. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm still waiting on what NBA y'all want to speak on right now. Nothing's going on like that. But
It's coming down to it's coming down the stretch. Like,
Yeah, this is where
I feel like go ahead.
we should talk about the strides of Donovan Mitchell's leadership as he takes a Cleveland Cavalier team to the top of the Eastern Conference franchise over the former champions, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and like. We should talk about them. Y'all want to talk about the Cavs?
We can talk about them.
Are you sure?
I'll be happy to talk about them as I am every year. Let's go. Get into it.
You see, like you're in pain though. Like, were you not expecting this, Julian?
No,
Be honest.
I expect them to do well in the regular season. I expect the Donovan Mitchell led team to play good regular season ball. I do. Do I not? Like
ever since the Jazz, he's been like a top 5 seed every year. Like he gets some wins in.
They were the 1 seed in the West, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, all he does
Maybe
is
two. Until it matters. All he does is lose in the playoffs. That's when it matters.
I mean, they
That's
gave
what
him
we
an
care
all-star. They gave him a couple all-stars this year, right? So as we talk
they?
about saying, huh?
There's also one on his team who has to beat the allegations. Shout out to Sultan. I remember he was talking about it last year. Darius Garland, bro. Like he has to beat those allegations this year. Does he not?
So Joey, just for some more context, Darius Garland's actually better than Trae Young. So no, he is. Like, this was years ago. Like he was better than him years ago. Is what we have to understand. Remember we got that all-star over Trae?
Who are you
Y'all
talking
remember
about?
that?
I just want to know who you're referring to. Whose take you're referring to?
What? That's the general consensus. It's just the general consensus for real. But yes, Sultan did have something to say about that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Darius Garland, I mean, he's him. So just as we can't give excuses to Shea this year, I don't think we can give any to Don and his crew. Can we?
No.
Okay. I agree.
Will they make it out of the second round this year?
Bro,
I'm very serious.
ever since Jared Allen said the lights were too bright, bro, I knew this team, they're not getting past like anyone good. Like,
What did Jared Allen do last year? Like he wouldn't take a shot.
Yeah.
They don't, bro. This is not a championship team.
It's not. They don't have like veteran players. Like they have what's his name, the minivan from the Sixers. Like that's their like Niang's their oldest veteran or like their best veteran. Like that's not going to cut it in the playoffs.
I mean,
Those
you
guys.
see what I'm saying, Joey? You see what I'm saying, Joey? He doesn't even watch.
Niang's literally got traded.
He don't even watch.
Bro, those guys are big.
He don't even be knowing who's on the floor. Like, who off the floor. He just
That boy Shaq did. He Shaq to the fool.
to make it bad enough, Georges Niang playing right now with 11 minutes and 3 points on the Hawks.
Yeah, you're definitely Shaqtin' right
I
now.
forgot he was on the Hawks. Yeah, I did
He
have
got traded for Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But they do
15 in the first quarter. Wait a second. Oh, no, that's the second quarter.
They do have veterans, though. I feel like we can't act like those guys aren't veterans. Donovan Mitchell is now a veteran. For sure.
I guess.
I don't know what excuse we can. They have a bench. They have depth, like shooting. What I don't know what excuse we have to come to at the end of the year besides them just
No excuses.
only have that. Like,
I want to go around the horn right now, and I want to know if y'all think that they will make it out of the second round. Morgan first.
I'm
What do you
full of
think?
understandings, right? So as a 1 seed, they have the potential to play somebody out of a play-in. Play-in situation is between the Hawks, the Magic, the Bulls, and the Heat, right? So you're saying they'll get through that though, right?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm not answering the questions right now. I'm posing it to you. I want to
Okay.
know what you, Morgan, and the Red Bucket Hat think about the Cavs postseason this year. I want to know.
I don't think they lose to anybody in a 7-game series except the Celtics.
So you do. The
I
short answer
honestly
could be
don't-
yes.
I'm going to be totally honest. I don't like the Milwaukee matchup for them. If it's a second round series, I don't like that Milwaukee matchup.
I've had to
If Giannis is healthy, no, I don't. I don't like it.
So you think they're going to lose, or you just think
I
it'll
think-
be tough? Tough
Yeah.
sledding.
100%.
What about you, Ian?
What do I think they're making past the second round?
Yeah.
I think it depends on how well Darius Garland plays. I don't expect him to play at the level he needs to. I think Evan Mobley's gonna have to play like he's been playing all year. I don't expect him to play like that either. I do expect Donovan Mitchell to have a pretty good playoffs. Like he does put up points in the playoffs, some series. But I do think it's gonna come down to like his teammates, and they're not good enough.
Wow. Somebody put that, right, Julian? So he said that they'll lose because of Donovan Mitchell's supporting cast, not Don, but his supporting cast. That's an interesting take there.
What
But
about you, Jake?
What was the question?
Will the Cavs make it past the second round of the playoffs this year?
I agree with Joey that they would not beat the Bucks.
But y'all are saying this. I know Joey watches, but I've had to literally jump off of that train. Face first.
I mean, they haven't been playing that well recently, but like it's
But
still a
forget
players'
recently,
league.
bro.
It's a
Forget
players' league.
recently. I thought they were a contender 2 years ago. I got up on this podcast and I told y'all, don't count out Milwaukee. Even throughout the coaching changes, Doc, everybody, don't count out Milwaukee. Don't count out Giannis, right? What did it for me, and this is just my recency of it, but they've had an up and down year, but the recency of it, they saw Shea at home, no Jalen Williams, and got rolled. Like, I'm talking rolled by them, dude. I know the Thunder are a great team, but rolled at home? Nah, man. I can't. It's too much dysfunction there. You can't trust Kyle Kuzma. I know he's an NBA champion himself, but you can't really trust his mental at this point. His hair is blonde, I think. Giannis, he's a great player, but the scouting report is out, and Dame would just have to be great. Like, he has to be that type of guy in order for it to work. The bench is limited drastically, Joey.
I think the key to Milwaukee's playoff success is to not be over reliant on Giannis as a ball handler.
Who
And
do we
it's
rely
like-
on?
Well, Dame's having a great season, but it's just more so like, what kind of Dame are you going to get when the playoffs come? Is he going to be
You
healthy?
got to get his best. You got to get his best version for sure.
You can
You gotta
expect him to elevate his level of play, but will it be enough?
I think it could be. I think if Dame actually elevates his game enough to where you don't have to put the ball in Giannis's hands, you're in good shape. Because I feel like the moment that Dame is not, trustworthy with the ball, takes ill-advised shots, is not making the shots, we all know he can't defend. So, like, at this point, like, how much of a liability is Dame going to be come postseason? Because when Dame gets there, when Dame gets to that point where he's turning the ball over or not making his shots, and you're going to say, okay, we got to put the ball in Giannis's hands, that's when it's going to come crashing down.
And I love Dan, dude. I get on here and I defend him every single time we talk about him, right? There are no point of attack defenders on the Milwaukee Bucks. There's not, right? So again, you're talking about going into it. They've got to see the Pacers first. If it were to end today, are we saying with 100% certainty that they're getting out of that series?
If they're healthy, they're going to beat the Pacers.
I don't know that. I truly, honestly do not know that.
So I just don't like when Morgan contradicts himself, because now you think that Tyrese Halliburton, who you think is mid, is going to lead the Pacers past the Bucks, right? You think that. And also you think Damian Lillard.
Did I just say that just now? Is that what I said?
How else could they win though, Morgan? Morgan,
Siakam, Matthew, Miles, they got guys.
Morgan,
We have guys, but like Tyrese Halliburton is the driver of that bus. We know this.
He's not the driver of that bus. I don't know that. He's been playing very well lately, but I don't know if he's the driver of that bus. That's an interesting.
Hey,
Okay,
Andrew. Hey, let it be known Andrew Nembhard is also an all defensive candidate this year.
Andrew Nembhard is
He's a better point of attack defender than anybody Milwaukee has.
Andrew Nembhard.
And it's not even close. It's not close.
It doesn't matter though. What's it called? The Pacers are not going to beat the Bucks when healthy. No.
There's no one to defend Giannis. Maybe Miles Turner, is he even healthy?
It's more of
It's
the
so
Bucks.
crazy because again, who did the Thunder have to face Giannis? That's the game that did it for me.
That's one game. It's not the same in a playoff series. We all know this. Like, can we stop
We don't know
regular season basketball? It's not the same. You have 7 games. You have to beat someone 4 times in a row, bro, or 4 times out of 7. That's not sweet. This is not a regular season game off a back-to-back or something like that. Like, people don't care. They don't care.
It's a bad matchup. Giannis, we'll see what it's like when he's healthy. He really hasn't been healthy for 2 years of playoff ball.
Are the Magic gonna be finally healthy?
What do you mean by healthy?
Their guys have been out. Their guys have been out all year. Franz is out fully, right? Franz and Mo are out, aren't they?
He's back already.
So
Franz is back. Mo's been out. Mo's out the whole season.
Okay,
Jalen Suggs is out the whole season.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know. Like, even when they like looked like bad when Paolo and Franz were both out, even when they came back, it's just
they haven't played that well.
It's a rough watch.
It is.
Yeah, it's the same critique I feel like we had about this Magic team. They're not prolific shooters from distance, right? They play pretty hard-nosed defense, but when you take Jalen Suggs out of the mix, right, they can get a little shaky.
There's your all defensive guard too, and your floor general.
Exactly. Now Jalen Suggs, I'm sure he was averaging 16, 4-on-4. That's pretty good for what he is. You know what I'm saying? So,
can't trust KCP anymore.
But with all that being said, I think Paolo is proving he's one of those guys, man. You get him into a playoff series, really into a big game in general, he typically elevates his level of play.
Cade Cunningham this year, I'm excited to see what happens. Playoff Cade for the first time. Like, that's lit. We're gonna get to see it for the first. What?
No, let me say this. Let me say this for real. There are a lot of rumors, a lot of discourse surrounding a potential Knicks and Detroit Pistons series, because that would be the 3 and the 6, right?
Okay.
And there are some people with the frame of mind that Detroit could knock them guys out, like knock them boys off for real. So
they could. Like, they have a good enough team to do it, but I don't think they're gonna do it because of the experience factor. The Knicks have been there, done that. 1 playoff series is like, I don't know.
Yeah. If Brunson comes back like 100%, like that series is not going to be close, bro. Like, he's been in the playoffs plenty of times. Saw him last year. He was pretty good. Like, they have guys, especially on the defensive side.
Their defense doesn't look that good though, as it theoretically should be.
learning that Ian does not actually watch the sport that he covers.
Dude,
We're learning.
You're talking about the Knicks?
Yeah, he's talking about the Knicks.
bro.
About stuff that isn't true.
Yeah, they
Dude.
were aggressive last year for sure.
That's fine, but you can still defend a what's it called team. Who are we talking about again?
Pistons.
Pistons?
Can they really?
Bro, was it Sar and
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you said SAR.
no Asar and
You said
Asar.
Asar.
yeah Asar and what's
I had
his
to
name?
think for a second. I was like,
That was
"Who
deep.
fucking that?" This Cade, Tobias Harris, all them.
Come on, stop! No, you just said it. You said it. Tobias Harris,
He's been playing pretty well.
bro. He does this every year in the regular season. Stop it. He put up 4 points in the playoffs last year. Stop it against the
That's
Knicks.
a personal. That's a personal.
He has nightmares against the Knicks, so he's no. Stop.
What about Malik Beasley? What about Malik Beasley? He's actually been elite this year and might be in 6-man conversations this year. He's going to get himself a bag this summer.
I mean, we can say that. We can say that for like Macau. I've seen Macau put up some points before. Like
I've seen Macau forget how to shoot a jump shot.
I just seen Macau be just grossly like misutilized in this Knicks system, in my opinion.
I have so much to say. I really do. I have so much to say about all of that Knicks stuff like that. But I really wanted to give Drew more flowers than he even gave himself. Honestly, like I think Cade Cunningham and his team, right, Detroit Pistons, that's a bus driver. There's no question about that right now. Driving that Detroit Pistons bus, of course, they're better than they were. You always worry about teams that haven't been in the playoffs, right? Cade hasn't done it before, but I'm sitting here like the Knicks, man. If they are not healthy and whole, it could get interesting. It could get interesting. Y'all remember having to go to the Palace in the playoffs where like, and that's not it's going to be rocking in Detroit. It's going to be nice. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that'll be a fun series.
It'll be fun. It'll be very fun. I'll be very intrigued to see that. And I think it's going to be closer than Julian may think. I don't know what he thinks, but
I'm talking about if they're healthy. If the Knicks are healthy, I think they're going to win the series. That's all I'm saying.
It won't be pretty though. I don't know.
It may not be. Knicks.
One of the last pretty series I've seen the Knicks play probably was against Cleveland way back when they wasn't it in 5 or something like that.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was 5.
It was
Gentleman swept. Cavs got gentleman swept.
Yep. That was probably one of the better.
That's wrong.
Lights too bright for something.
That's just a shame.
We're going over. But this is what I want to leave y'all with. Excuse me. That's real good.
bro, put that down.
Big protein. 150 grams of protein.
150 grams of protein in a soup?
No, that's just what Kendrick Lamar said in the song.
Oh.
My Timberwolves. They gave me a weak loss, though. I believe it was last.
Oh, you mean that they've been hoping?
Yeah, to the Pacers.
Yeah, that was pretty weak of them. They shouldn't have done that. Overtime, But I got on this podcast, Joey. Actually, Jacob, you weren't here for this. Let me talk to you. I got on this podcast, Jacob. You start talking about contending teams. I threw out there that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be in that discussion by the end of the year. Okay? Come playoff time, you're going to see Anthony Edwards. You're going to see Julius Randle. You're going to see that group turn up. All right? So they're getting hot at the right time. I just like to say I'm still standing on that. And I'd like to let y'all view what I see. Let y'all see what I see.
I'm pretty sure I was there when you said that. I'm pretty sure I backed that.
I don't know if you were. This was recently, like past 2-3 weeks maybe.
I'm never betting against Ant.
It's not something you do first and foremost, but
Betting against Julius Randle is something I would do. So that's kind of like a conflict of interest there.
Bro, do we not remember playoffs last year when Ant-Man was like, when they were double teaming Ant-Man and they didn't have any other answer? What happens when they do that this year and Julius Randle has to go off for 30 or 40 to win the game? That's not going to happen. They don't have Cat like they did last year.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play
rely
good
on
ball in the
Nas.
playoffs. I mean, Nas Reed can hoop.
Yeah, he's tough.
But they have other guys besides Julius Randle.
DiVincenzo's gonna have to hoop in the playoffs.
Guys like DiVincenzo.
Why are you doing that? DiVincenzo hoops. He usually hoops. What are you doing?
I don't know. We
He's
can
okay,
try.
bro. He's okay. He's not doing that
I'm
against.
saying he has to. Jaden McDaniels took a step this year.
Try it if we want to. Ian just came on. I think he was on the podcast talking about Desmond Bain. 44 points. He's going to be ready to play. He's going to be ready to hoop. I'm on the wrong team right now. I'm geeked. All right. Let me go back to the Timberwolves. All right.
Like what? Did bro get traded?
Nas Reed. McDaniels. Sound like LeBron right now. You just go down the line. You see what I'm saying? Like they have the depth.
McDaniels can hoop.
They
He
have the
got better.
defense. I want to see him play.
Who do y'all got? Who do y'all got from the West in the finals? Y'all got the Thunder?
Hell no.
Why? Hell no.
Yeah, like, why is that a hell no?
Because I don't think they have the experience. Like, and
What experience?
bro, you need experience in like pretty much in every sport just to actually like beat good
What
teams.
experience do they not have?
They have 1 or 2 runs in the playoffs, or Shea does maybe 2 playoff runs. And last year, I think the Mavs dominated him. I mean, Shea played pretty well, but I didn't think his supporting cast played pretty well. And I think that's what it's going to come down to this year. And I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they're seasoned vets. They're like 23. Their average.
They're really young.
Caruso is a veteran and is balding. Hartenstein has been on many a playoff team.
No.
Caruso doesn't play enough. I feel like
He will come playoff time.
I don't know. Like there's just a lot of guys who may get minutes over him.
And Caruso been hurt.
Kaysen, he may get
He's
those.
around.
He's been playing well.
They got. I won't let you do this, Ian. Nah, I'm sorry. It's an experience thing.
And
Like,
the Thunder, it's a failure. I feel like to make it short, it's a failure if the Thunder don't make the finals this year for sure.
I mean, we talked about this. Y'all know how I feel about it. Like,
I don't think that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they'll beat the Lakers though. Like that may be a homer take, but I don't think they're gonna beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. I'll be surprised if LeBron is healthy.
I agree.
I just don't. I don't think so.
All right,
You
guys.
saw what Luka did to him last year. Like, come on.
This is true, but understand though, you can't. At some point, as a player, as a league, like losing to LeBron James can't be acceptable anymore. Let me explain.
It's not acceptable.
Yes,
Now,
he's great.
if they lose,
Now it's not, Drew. It's
if
not
they
acceptable
lose,
anymore.
if they lose to the Lakers, it's a super failure.
You lose to a 40-year-old
That's why
man,
it's 40.
and it's like it's not acceptable anymore. It's not. Like I can't say anything else is a failure. And my dad's reeled me back in. I said that they got to blow up the team, but he said, "Nah, they're just gonna fire the coach." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, they'll probably just fire Dagno for that." But that's what it did. That's what it did. All right, y'all. We got any more hoop takes before we get up out of here?
Nah.
Let me take one last gander at these standings. One last look. Because it's definitely, I mean, it's getting spicy. It definitely is getting spicy. So, I'm interested in the Grizzlies team and the Rockets team now. Yes, they've been winning all year. I understand it. I don't want to root for the Houston Rockets, Joey. I don't want to root for the Houston Rockets. However, right, there are some things that are undeniable when we view them play throughout this course of the season, right? So they could be dangerous. They could be dangerous. I only say that. That's it, right? Because Jacob, drinking too much water can be dangerous as well. So it's not saying too much. And my Grizz, we'll see. They're not ready yet, but we'll see. All right, y'all. That's a 5 pot. Tuesday, sometimes Saturdays. Follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, and TikTok. See y'all next week.
All right. See you.
Oh, my goodness. All right, there.